Hi, I'm Frank DiMatteo. Welcome to another episode of Mob Candy Magazine.
So, Frank, I want to talk about this.
Okay.
What I know about wise guys, and really most men, let's be honest here, they have their girlfriend.
Yes.
And then they have the wife, and the wife takes care of the kids, and they go to the communions with the wife. They go to the weddings with the wife. But, the day after Christmas, you have your day after Christmas with the girlfriend. And, it's a big shuffle that you have to do. And not only you're doing it, the crew's doing it.
Yeah.
So, how do you handle the shuffle? And
in this life, the life I was in, it's frowned upon by the upper echelon to do that at all.
Really?
Yes. Your boss, your skipper, or guys like Carlo Cabino, guys like that, was but they frowned upon that. So you had to listen. Half the shit you did, no one knows.
Right.
Everything was on a low, and this. You didn't promote that too much. Or didn't flaunt that too much, because the big boys they didn't like that. But that's what you do. Listen, the only way I can explain it is you have to be a man.
Okay.
Okay. If you're not a man, you don't.
I
can't explain to you why someone would do something like that, because it's not like the guy terrasso. What's the word?
Chorizo?
No, that chemical in them. What's the name of that fucking chemical you?
Testosterone.
Testosterone. You know what I mean?
That's definitely not true.
Yeah. They got hydrogen. That's why they do that. No, because it's a mentality, man, and it's a thing to do. And people flirt with you. Men are weak. Sometimes you don't even. You're not the engager. You're the recipient.
Right.
And you got peer pressure, and you got.
Because women could be really strong too.
Sure they are.
Yeah.
They can
You
be
think
very
so as a
sexy.
man?
They can be very demanding, and they know how to work. Women are dangerous, man.
Yeah.
Women are dangerous. You know that.
I do.
But look, you're talking.
I do.
Look, you're a woman.
I'm not the dangerous
No,
one.
you're a woman. You're dangerous. It's you got guys around you. Other people are doing it. You got a pretty face. People treat you well. It's like a whole round package, man. It's just not you just going out there being an ass. Now, do you supposed to do that? You got a wife home or girlfriend home? You're not supposed to do a lot of things, man.
Did you ever feel guilty?
Me personally? No.
I think I know that answer.
No.
He went, me personally?
No. In fact, I tell my wife now, I'm going to go out and meet a girl. And she laughs. She goes, yeah, let them them. You stay with them for the next 20. Leave me the alone. Excuse my language.
It's okay.
Leave me alone. And I go, okay. I told you on the way out the door.
Right. You thought I was kidding.
No, I never felt bad. No, I don't feel bad because I take things differently. I'm, don't go by me anyway. Don't go by me because I live in the streets. I came up with killers, done bad things, sat with people that no one in this world could sit with, done bad things.
Right. So that's like low on the totem pole.
Yeah, my morality or is a lot different than a normal person. Well, I'm married or if you don't care about that, then you're gonna do what you gotta do because it's a different life.
It's a different
because
life.
You're doing bad things anyway. It's like, she's gonna find out. At that point, who cares?
But that's a really good point to even say to if your wife, you're like, oh wait, so it's okay if I do this and I bring home $50,000.
Right.
You have no problem with that. But now all of a sudden I have sex with somebody. Now you're
forget
bitching.
About it. Oh
right?
yeah.
But but now you're bitching. But you didn't care that I just
that choose somebody off a roof to bring that $50,000 in.
Right.
Or put my life on the line to do 50 years in jail to bring home to pay the rent this month.
So you can have fancy shoes.
No.
And now all of a sudden I do this and now you got a problem.
That's a girly thing. Only you know stuff like that. I can't answer that, but it's a girly thing. But it is really two-bladed swords, in a lot of ways. You know what I mean?
Ways,
yeah,
right?
yeah. It's you're good as you're earning and taking care of somebody, but you have to be a straight line. But if you break the rules and do bad things,
that's what you're used to.
Anything. But the girl says, "Oh, you can do anything you want, but don't do that."
Go scratch.
We're bad. You do it all bad.
Right. Go scratch.
So that's why a lot of guys do that, and it was a common thing. And Friday nights were with the wives. Saturday nights we went out. With the girls.
Did they ever have you ever see The Confrontation?
Sometimes girls get smart, wives get smart, and they walk in. Girlfriends don't.
No, why would they, right?
No, at all. They know who you are.
Yeah.
But the wife would do somebody, and it would actually be somebody that got in their ear.
Right.
And said, Frankie Boy's in Court Terrace with the same blood, Ariana. Oh, what's Frankie Boy doing the same thing? Why is that? And then she would ask me and go,
were you in?
I said, I'm managing the joint. The girls I love them all.
Right.
They're all mine. But I always talk this way.
Right.
They're all mine. Yeah, all yours. Yeah, okay. Oh, what's the problem? And then I'd go, I think they're funny. I think how girls talk to girls.
Yeah.
And then she'll come and bust your chops and then go following like that. And, but somebody's got to get in their ear.
Did she think you were joking? Or did she really be like, they're all mine? You're like, all right, Frankie, just be home at, did she think you were...
No, I told him.
You told her everything?
I told him I'm a good-looking guy. I said, I was a really good-looking guy when I was young.
Yeah.
Really good. I was really good.
You're tall, I get it.
You don't think I trust me? I should. But I was a really good-looking guy, and it was easy getting women.
Yeah, ducks in a barrel, right?
Oh my God! And then being in a bar, and then being a wise guy in a bar.
Yeah, forget it.
God, they were floating. You got to pick, man. They were floating like on air. They go, and if they liked you,
forget it.
Forget it. You can. Those days, I'm talking about the '70s. You could do anything you want at any given spot in the place. And I never put nobody down because it's individuality and what you do or don't do. But there was no limits of where, who, what, where, cars, rooftops, bathrooms in the club, under the bar, under a table. I mean, because people liked you and they liked that shit and they would do what
Express,
they do. And you're just used to that. Especially if you do it every day.
The girls that were with the guys,
Not that I ever
they
did
got
anything.
a higher status in the neighborhood. Like, you know whose girl that is?
Yes.
So it's it's a double sword.
Big time.
Right? So
Big
not
time.
only do they like
Especially
them,
young.
Yeah, especially young. They're like, you know whose girl that is? That's, what's his face is? That's Bobby, whatever's, that's his girl. And then you walked around the neighborhood like your shit didn't stink because you knew
110%.
You knew that you were untouchable.
I'll tell you a quick story with that.
Yeah.
We're from downtown Red Hook, Brooklyn, right? We're on Court Street, and I'm dating Emily, and me, Louie, and a couple guys hanging out. We're in a friend's house on Douglas Street, and we're talking, and all the girls were there. Just dating at the time. It was well before marriage, and the girls wanted to walk to get a slice of pizza, which is a block away in our neighborhood. So we're inside talking, and the 3-4 girls go out to get a slice of pizza. And on the way back, they're giggling and laughing. And we turned around and said, what happened? So he says, you'll never believe what happened. I said, well, what happened now? He says, our car pulled up. When they got to the corner, car pulled up and said, hey, baby, you want to take a ride with us? And they just looked at them. And the guy in the back seat goes, oh, that's Frankie Malone's girlfriend. He said that the car took off so fast that the guys almost broke their necks in the car. Right? An hour later, we get a knock on the door, and this guy named Freddie, we're friends with him now, comes knocking on the door. He knew who we were. Comes in, knows who I am.
Yeah.
Comes in, knock. He goes, Frankie, is Frankie here? I go, yeah. I come out. Louis calls me. I'm like, what's the matter, buddy? He goes, I said, Emily told me, what's the big deal? He goes, no, we want to come and apologize. No one, that guy who was in the car did not know that was your girlfriend. I said, no, I wasn't offended by it, but they got worried because they had to worry. I didn't have to worry about it. And that's how it was, see? They laughed because they had the rep. That was Frankie Malone's girlfriend. Oh, my God. They said that car took off. The guys almost snapped their neck in it.
Oh.
And we're young then.
Wow.
It was well before we made our reputation. But we had a good reputation there because...
Good reputation in the neighborhood,
yeah,
right.
because we were just growing. We were babies growing. You know what I mean? We were just babies growing. But if you put a good foundation down, people know who you are and respect you.
Oh, you can part the sea.
Yeah.
If you were dating a wise guy...
Especially if they liked you, too.
Yeah.
Fear works. But fear and liking you is 10 times better.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Like somebody and fear them is the best. Just fear you. I hate that guy, but
Yeah.
you don't want that. You want somebody to go, he's nice. Don't fuck him, he's a nice guy.
Yeah.
That's so much more, better.
And it was like, I'm going to bring you a drink. Like, guys will come up, give a drink, and be like, I know you're Liza, and like, tell him, I bought you a drink, and everything's good, and tell him I wish him best.
Right.
And I'm like, all right. And they was like, and I was like, wait a minute,
Yeah.
right? And then all of a sudden you're walking around like you're on cloud nine.
Exactly.
You're untouchable because you're with somebody.
Nice.
Now, if a wise guy's girlfriend was in a bar and you're there, you can buy them a drink. You say because that's Tony's girlfriend.
Right.
Buy Tony and a friend a drink.
Right.
And you would just send them. You don't go over and all like that. But you can buy them a drink, show respect because they're Tony's girlfriend.
Right.
That's it. You don't go over and say hello. How are you? Oh, Tony's not here yet. No.
No, the guy came up to me. He's like, just make sure that you say hello and yeah.
No, guys, you can buy a drink, show respect
Right.
to the guy, but you
stay
gotta
away.
stay away. You know what I mean? All the rules and regulations, stuff like that.
Yeah, it was silent. No one talked. Like there were no
There
rules.
was no big talk about it. I mean, we do what you had to do. I mean, now it's good. We talk about it a lot more because we're older. Like I said, one for the banana peel, one for the grape. You talk about it, but those days you just did it.
Right.
Don't talk about it because you did it. It was natural.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
But like
you
everything
just
that
did
you
it.
need. Like I remember once I was outside of a hair salon, and I got a ticket. Right.
Not that I did anything.
Right.
You know,
Right.
I-
No.
Not that
You're
I did
innocent.
anything.
You're like.
I just watch. I'm a good observer.
You like to watch?
Yes, I like that. I still do.
That's what you need to send.
Yeah.
So tell everybody.
Who you are, who you are.
And I got a ticket, right? I got a parking ticket. So the next day, I go back into the salon, and so the lady's walking around. He bangs, like pushes her, and because years ago you had to write the ticket and they kept it, and the copy was like in a little, like they held it and they handed it in. So he snatched it so that he couldn't give it, so she couldn't give tickets anymore. So then they put 2. So then he went back and spray painted all the what do they call them things with the toll, the meters. He black spray painted all the meters on top of the block so nobody could get tickets. And that's how it was. You know what I mean? Like
Talking about his ticket, but we're young, real young, and I got a club on Smith Street, and the guy grabs me and says, "Frankie boy, we're gonna make a score tonight." And I go, "What are we gonna do?" "Don't worry about it. We got it." And we go to Fulton Street, downtown Fulton Street over here, and it was a parking lot, and it was all meters, and it was double head meters.
Oh, the double head.
He said, "We're gonna rob it." That's okay. He goes, "We had a tool, and we robbed like 6 of them because you couldn't stay that too long, and we robbed 6 of them." We took, and we grab 6
Yeah, those
of
are
them,
heavy.
and we bring him to the cafe, the club. We had a club on Smith Street, a little small brinky-dink thing. We were young, and he goes, "Okay, how are we gonna open these things?" I don't know. Nobody got a key. He goes, "No, we can't get a key." He goes, "Don't worry about it. I'm gonna buy drill bits, right?" Well,
those things are thick.
let me tell you something. We broke about 25 drill bits.
Wow.
We got them all open, and there was $36 in shit there. Like, we spent like I'm talking about 70s. We supposed to spend $40 on drill bits. It was a lot of money for you, and we got $36 out of. There
But it's
were
only
nickels.
quarters. Yeah, nickels and quarters. What do you think you were
Wait a
gonna
minute,
get?
all we do is a score, big score, and we took like days drilling it. Telling everybody, yeah, we're big tough guys. Yeah, we're big
Yeah.
D's. We're real good.
What are you gonna do with your share?
Yeah,
idea
we're gonna
was
go to
it
Atlantic
yours or
City.
yours?
Yeah, we got $36 in nickels. I mean, we were embarrassed.
You didn't tell anybody.
Then we burnt out drills. We burnt out drill bits. It was horrible, man.
But
It
whose
but
idea was
But you
it?
think it's cool? You're young. You're stupid. You know. I mean, that's what you do. You know, if you're in that world, that's you. I got a big. We could stay forever.
Let me ask you a question. What was your? I mean, other than the tolls, that's embarrassing.
Right.
What was your biggest score? But not telling too much.
Biggest score?
Yeah, like that was like wow. This was a nice little payday.
I did a dope score, $1 million.
Really?
In the 80s. Yeah, there was a drug guy that was wheeling, dealing, and stuff like that, and we made a deal with him for $1 million. We were instrumental in somebody buying $1 million worth of dope from a guy, right? And then when they made the transaction, me and another guy went there and we robbed $1 million. Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah,
Did you really?
Yeah, we didn't want the dope because we weren't dope dealers at the time. I became a dope dealer later on.
That's the best
I
story I
can't-
ever heard.
yeah.
You know, we're not like that. We're
No,
not dope dealers.
I was older when I became a dope dealer. I was
It's the moral here to the story. I mean, we're not like that.
So we made the deal between the guy selling and the guy buying it, and then we went and robbed the guy that got the cash.
Did they ever find? Did they know it was you?
No.
That's
Well,
a score.
No, because other guys go in and make the deals, and then you send the 2 schmucks like us to go do the
So
school,
you had to send some up and then split it, or how did you like? How did the money go?
What I get out of it?
Yeah.
$1 million?
Yeah.
10,000. You're a little man in Poland. You're a little man in Poland. You're lucky
That's
they
what I'm
gave you
saying,
that. They
right.
threw you a bone.
Right.
Because it's the big boy stuff.
Right, you gotta send
You're
it
lucky
up.
you got that. You know, they could told you go get a cup of coffee. You got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
We got
Like I did.
10,000. Yeah, it was two of us. We got $10,000
The
each.
coffee today,
Yeah.
like Spider.
10,000. Yeah,
I almost
Spider.
broke my ass coming in.
And that's how you start. I started as Spider when I came in.
I started Spider today.
When I first was in the with the club down President Street with Joey Gallo and Albert Gallo and all the guys, we started as serving coffee and clean the club after we were there. And I was close because my father was a wise guy, and I still was low man at toilet pole. You don't get no extra, thing. Frankie boy, you want to be here? Go get coffee.
Right.
Until you work your way up into it like that. That's everyone's a Spider, that concept, not get shot in the foot or get killed, but you all started that, I started from that to driving to trust you pick up numbers, from numbers to move guns, from numbers to then what happens is that people come to you because they know you in that world, and then people come with you things, and then you bring, hey, guy, he's got a truck coming, or a friend in the airport, and then it just freaking just keeps, then it just, what do you call it, multiplies and multiplies and multiplies and out of the first 5-6 years growing up, busting your cherry, we're not murderers,
Right.
we're not, that's the least thing that you
right.
want to do. It's the
It's
hustle.
a hustle, right.
It's the hustle to find guys, to bring guys, to get things, to move your way in. That's what the life was. I mean, and there's certain guys that do the bad things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not everybody can do bad things.
I always kind of felt like if you
If you
and not
did
to
that
say
thing-
take this personally, I feel like if your parents, like my mother wasn't falling, like didn't even finish I didn't went to the 8th grade or whatever. So if I was a guy and had parents that didn't make it out of the 8th grade, I'm not saying that your parents did or whatever. I'm just saying like
I didn't make it a grade. I'm a 9th grade dropout.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So how are you going to survive? Like you're going to be, you can like
Learn
be a
shit.
construction guy. You could do that. That's,
Yeah, you could be an ass. You could be a retard.
Yeah, you could be in
You could be
construction.
sanitation, make more
Yeah.
money than a scientist.
They're crazy. What the hell's going on
Average
here?
guy makes more money than me. He picks up garbage 1 hour a day. He makes $100,000. I gotta go sell. Excuse my language. I gotta sell magazines like a pimp. This guy gets it for 3 hours a day. He makes more money than God.
Yeah.
And we were young. He's gonna be a sanitation guy. Live with that jerk. Meanwhile,
Yeah.
we wound up being a jerk.
Yeah, and they got pensions.
Yeah,
right?
pensions, yeah.
They got everything.
I got a pension.
You do?
Yeah. Why can shake you down for? You think I'm nice to her because she's pretty? Because she might make some money in the future. I can say, please, can you send me? Give me a couple dollars.
Always. I always will.
Thank you. See,
Aw.
that's how you do it.
Because I never felt more accepted and not judged. Like in your company.
Right.
Because when you're doing so many things, what you've done,
Right.
you don't judge. Like, you
I really don't judge someone.
and my lifestyle is also like, it's super crazy.
Yeah,
so
but
everything
here's
I tell you, I know you understand it.
Definitely.
But here's the thing.
Frankie is
Yana,
the
that
only
chick that-
person who knows what's in this locket.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a crazy secret. And because I knew he's not gonna judge.
No,
He's
I don't
gonna
judge nobody. I really
completely
don't.
Yeah, I know you don't.
I don't care what she does, what she does, what she don't do. She's my friend. She's my friend. That's it. I don't. She can send a fly on that thing. I don't care. It's not my business.
That would
you know
be
what I mean?
fun.
That would be fun. But it'd be for me too. But I just don't care because it's not my business.
It's not
you
even
know?
the business,
I
but
don't
Yana,
judge.
you can tell Yana
Yeah.
from the time I met, just the way she talks. She has a very nice heart.
Oh, it's not, yes.
Yeah, she's very kind. Like you can tell she's very kind. There's some women that you can tell they just came straight out of hell.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh,
straight
yeah.
out of hell just
Yeah.
to come into your soul
Well, I
and
do that
suck
way.
it the fuck
I waited
out.
for the first 4 weeks. How much you want from me? 'Cause I always think that people want money from me.
Right,
I always
right.
did. I was waiting. Frankie, I need 100. You know what I mean? And then you learn that they're not that way.
Right.
But I think everyone's that way. So
Yeah, you can tell she's sweet.
Yeah. Then you learn that they're more legitimate. They're
Right.
more.
You got to peel off the onion.
Yeah. Especially if you have that bad. I love women. But I don't trust. I don't trust nobody. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't. My best friend is the first. I look at.
I was
with
about to say.
2 guns on me, man. I mean, I love Larry. Larry's it, but Larry's a karate expert. He's a half a killer. I keep my eye on him first
How can you be half a killer?
because he only killed half the amount of people I killed. Yeah, I killed more than him. That's why. They're only half. He's the one I'm watching.
Were you ever shocked about? Did somebody betray you that you're like shocked? That you were shocked about?
I watched betrayal through my whole life. Everyone who got close got killed close by close.
Right.
They're very hard to get to us. You know, when my father killed I went on I drove a backup car on a killing one time. But we didn't catch the guy because my father wanted to get pinched on that. Somebody made a phone call. My father got pinched on it. Randomly stopped by cops and
before he got there.
Before he got there, I ran a backup car, and they pinched him, and I kept on going home. But
you're like,
I went home. Dad got picked up.
Yeah, that's a quick U-turn.
I went down to Pleasant Street. I went to see the Blast. I said, Blast. He goes, wow. He goes. I said, that's the best, and I came back home. Anyway, but you see things, you do things, and the guy that we're gonna go kill was very close to us. We never expected it, because that's how the guy you had to go get. I was a backup. It didn't happen because he got pinched or stuff like that. My father wound up killing him about 2 years later. My father wanted to kill him. Killed him.
Oh, he did.
Oh, yeah, he
got
wanted
him.
to kill him 2 years later. And my father wanted to kill this guy, swear to God, since 1965.
What a grudge.
Yeah,
Jesus Christmas.
Swear to God. This guy named Mooney, you know?
He got him in 82.
Oh, my God.
Like, what the heck?
Got him in 1976.
Let me ask you, when your father walks through the door, you'd be like, really? Like, come on.
I tell you why, but. So, in 65, my father hated this guy.
No shit.
Bad. And he wanted to kill him bad. And then my father used to drink, and then he was, kill this guy. When you're that sick, go out of your mind, you do it. It comes a little easier, and whatever you got to do. And he must have clicked him wrong in 1965. Because I'm not 10. And I 10-year-old boy here, I'm going to eat him, his wife, his firstborn. I'm going to pop his eyes like a gobbledzell. He goes, I'm going to eat his eyes. He goes, I'm going to chop them in pieces.
He has nighttime stories.
And every time I father drink, he wanted to kill Mooney.
We grew up.
And he wanted to kill him. And he had to eat it. And he couldn't do it. And he couldn't do it. He couldn't do it because he's with this guy. This guy says, no, Pops, you can't do that. He's with me. He can't do that. Anyway.
He must have busted something up that night, right?
Oh, my God. My father's happiest day in his whole life
was getting Mooney.
He was killing this guy. Happiest day his whole life.
Wow.
Was he different after? Let me ask you a question.
Yeah, you calm down after that.
He got it out of his system.
Yeah, he didn't have no more viciousness for anybody else.
When he drank, did he say, like, you know what I did? I was watching a meeting.
Never spoke to it. No, never.
Really?
No.
Never spoke? Really?
Never said it.
He just ingested it?
That's it.
Literally.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just moved on with his life.
Real guys don't say it.
Yeah, real guys don't say anything.
Don't ever mention it. Never say nothing. Never. We knew. I was at the party.
You had a party?
Oh, man, they were at the club that night. Man, it was like, oh, my God.
You had a party?
Because you got to think, if you read a story, it's historical. If you read a story, a couple guys got killed that were very close to us. They were young guys. People got hurt. People got maimed. They were shooting at each other, that crew and that crew. So you're mad now. So, yeah, you have a party that you hate this guy at this point, And
you have cake?
Yeah, no, B&B.
What's B&B?
Booze and Broads.
Booze and Broads. I killed Mooney cake.
Oh, man,
first slice you brought the candles.
Another time, real quickly. There was a lawyer. There was a lawyer with us.
Don't worry, Murray.
Yeah. Joe Ivine was Larry, the Gallo brother. I think he was an uncle of them. Joe Ivine, a lawyer. And he represented Joe in the early 60s and stuff like that. And Joey was very hot-headed. He didn't want to protect himself like that. And Joe was and he wound up getting convicted and wound up doing the 14 years, 12 years. Anyway, Weisswasser.
Yeah, that's a lawyer, right?
Yeah, Weisswasser, Bob Weisswasser, which is and he was a
Weisser.
Jewish guy, big gambler, and he wound up getting himself in trouble. Anyway, he defended my mother and lost the case on a bonds thing. My mother did a year and a half.
Yeah, she was saying.
My mother did federal time, a year and a half. Yeah,
I remember that.
In Lewisburg, and then he represented.
Who took care of you when she went away?
My grandparents.
Your grandparents.
Yeah, very close to my grandparents.
Yeah.
Anyway,
of course they raised you. What
68. I was 12, something like that.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And then this guy Weisswasser represented my godfather, Bobby Bongiovanni.
Why would anybody let him represent
Because
anybody
in-house
again?
counsel, we don't come on. When you're not doing well, you're
Right,
in-house
yeah, yeah.
counsel.
You
You
get
use
what
what
you
you got to
get.
do.
Yeah.
So anyway, he represents my godfather, Bobby Bongiovanni, Bobby Darrow, on a murder charge.
Oh God, he's
Right.
going away.
It was the fastest murder conviction in the state of New York. Really, swear to God. And we're looking, and we go, "Fuck, Bobby got convicted that fast." Never know. If you said I did it, you wouldn't get convicted. It would take them months to say, okay, what are we going to do with this guy? We're going to get 25 to life or 30 to life and like that. He died in jail. I was with him when he died in jail.
How are
Anyway.
you with them? How does that work?
What?
How does that work?
Communicating.
He was he went from Dannemora, died of cancer. They put him in Coxsackie, which is a hospital jail. And you
can visit. They let you visit? Oh, okay.
They know. They call you up. He's doing bad. You come in there. I was there when he died. Anyway, murderer. Sweetest guy you know. Good-looking mother. Dows you with charm and eat your brother. Yeah. Pisser. I love him. Like my godfather. I go, oh man, And the funny thing about my godfather, he was like 7 inches shorter than me, and we had suits. He used to make me want to wear suits. I'm 6 foot tall. These shoes are so short. He used to go, don't worry, we're gonna go to Chinks and they're gonna fix it for us.
Yeah.
And he used to go to New York. Oh, he was a nut.
He had high waters on.
Good looking guy, girls all around, pure murderer. Anyway, pure murderer. Like tell him, I said, by 70, he had about 5-6 guys he killed already. Bad. And I loved him. He was smart, tell jokes.
Yeah.
He was like me.
Sure, yeah.
Just like me. Look at me.
Sure.
Bobby.
It was him.
Laugh and joke and smile and
Right.
telling stories. Meanwhile, I'm
Right.
going to eat your face.
Right.
But
He'll
he
put
eats
you in
your
an
face.
oil can.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
we were younger. Don't forget, we're 30. We're not 70. We're
Right.
30. And he wants to do a life bid and stuff like that. But the point I'm bringing out is that this is what you got. This is what you got. You know what I mean?
Let me tell you, were you shaking in your pants when you went what's his face to the courthouse? You're like, listen, tell the kids I'll see him later.
I never got nervous because when you grow up in this shit, don't forget Bobby Bongiovanni, my father killed people. You learn, you don't know it as a kid, but you hear things and and you.
Did you ever feel bad about like the person that they killed? Like
No, my father.
Like,
everybody,
it was like, oh, Uncle
no,
Joe. And, Uncle Joe's,
no,
your dad killed Uncle Joe.
Everybody my father killed deserved it. They asked for it. I believe that. In my mind, I believe.
Right.
My father wasn't an asshole that went and botted people. He didn't go by. So if this kid is walking on the street,
Right.
and say, hey, you know who the guy and shooting his face?
Right.
No.
No.
Other idiots do that. It was business, and they believe business is business. I understand the philosophy. You did this. You did. You're in this life, and you cursed. I'm with Albert. You're in this life, live every day with us, and you called Albert a rat. You're dead.
Yeah, that's big.
You know what I'm saying? So now you get killed.
Yeah.
So I believed you asked for it. I don't see nothing bad in it. That's what you signed up for this, man.
Right.
And this is what you get. When I lost my father for jail, and when I
Did your father pass in jail?
Huh?
Did he die in jail?
Who?
Your father.
No, he came home and died. He came home and died. I did small bits, and
Right.
then
They killed him with 1,000 cuts.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, and then he died at home stupidly. Sugar got him. Got shot 4 different times. My father, 4 times got
And what,
shot.
diabetes got him?
Diabetes got him. Yeah. Got shot in the mouth one time.
In the mouth?
Oh, I got stories forever. We got a restaurant on Mill Avenue in Brooklyn, and we got a Spanish girl working for us, a barmaid. That's barmaid from Red Hook, going out with a drug dealer, Puerto Rican guy. She has an argument with her boyfriend, and she tells her boyfriend, "I'm gonna call the cops. You're a drug dealer." The father of the guy is the big boopa. Says, "Go kill her."
Right.
They come to our place and they try to kill her in the place. They didn't know that we were from downtown. They didn't know where she worked. She never said that. I work for wise guys,
right. Just
mafia guys.
some
The
whatever bar. Right.
They come in, they try to shoot her.
They miss?
They miss. They shoot a girl. A girl died on her birthday, 21-year-old. They shoot her in the bar. They kill her at the bar. My father jumps on in the bar, shoots him in the face. My father gets shot 3 times. They rush my father to the hospital, and I get to the hospital, get my father left rights because he got shot 3 times. He was
And
dead.
in the mouth.
In the
hello,
mouth.
that's-
One in here, in the heart. He was done. The thing. I got pretty nervous for that one. You know, because
If that's what it took for you to get nervous,
because he's my idol.
Your threshold is really high.
He's my idol. And
Yeah.
don't forget, he's my idol. This is not just, oh shit, someone shot. This is my idol. This is the guy this is my
this is the
God.
guy,
You know what I mean? He's my God. And but he lived through it. Then what happens is that the
did the kid that came in live through it too?
Somebody IDs him. My father doesn't ID, but I don't know who shot him.
Yeah.
My father gets all the bills paid as a victim, and gets all the bills paid. He doesn't testify against the guy because I didn't see the guy. The guy gets convicted with other witnesses in the place, civilians, a bit like that. Killed a girl in the place, 21st birthday, big fat girl, terrible. Terrible, big fat girl. It was cute, but she was big fat.
I'm not laughing.
Gets killed.
I'm
horrible.
not laughing.
Yeah, no, I'm not laughing. But it was horrible. Terrible. Anyway, the guy but he gets not premeditated. This, he gets 5 years. So they go to the father and say, "You ordered it. You got to kill the son, or we're gonna kill him." The son did the 5 years. The father had to kill the son when he got out.
Really?
The day he got out of jail, they killed the son. He goes, "Oh, we kill you." Oh, excuse me. Or we kill him. We'll kill him. It's your son. You take care of it. You told him to go kill this girl in my joint. You fucked up.
But wouldn't he even ask, like, hey, listen, she works here. Are they with anybody?
No,
How dumb can you be?
I'm not saying because they're Puerto Rican, but people are stupid. Italian guys are stupid too. Sometimes you don't not that deep. It's easy to think about it Monday morning.
But if you're in that lifestyle, I'm not going to go into your cafe and do something like, whose cafe is it?
Yeah, but it's emotions also. Like, not everyone is stupid.
Just
not everyone.
We didn't have cell phones yet, man.
What are you doing?
We didn't have cell phones yet.
She gets off at some time. Kill her in the street.
Yes.
Yeah, but you go
to
kill her.
Yeah, waited to come out. They're like retarded.
Cowboys, they're probably all tooted up. All
70s,
tooted up
80s.
Puerto Ricans. You know what I mean? They're all Puerto Ricans. I love Puerto Ricans. But
That's
I do love Puerto Ricans.
Yeah.
I do love Puerto Ricans. Puerto Rican girls are beautiful.
Yeah.
But
they could have waited.
I'm going to get me a few. But no. I mean, buy me a few or something. I don't know. And I love them, but they were stupid. They were young. They were half junkies. They went in there. No one did their homework. Meanwhile, the father got approached, big junk dealer. He says, "We're going to kill him, or you're going to kill him. Give you the opportunity to kill him." The kids one day, the father said they clipped him in coming out of the jail. Life you lived.
He just got into the car and he was done.
They killed him. The guys who picked him up killed him.
Yeah.
This is what you do. Now, is that good? Is it bad? You chose what you did, man. You know what I mean? If I choose...
Well, he was willing to kill the girl, right?
So then if you're willing to... you better come on, man. You know what I'm saying?
You got to pay that piper.
Yeah. No.
I'm saying, if he was willing to kill somebody, then you got to be willing to be killed.
It's a really... You can't put morality or sensibility in Gangster or in... bad, I don't know what the word is, when you do bad things.
Right.
It's got nothing to do with morality or conscience or something like that. It's a way of life. It's either out of poverty.
Right.
It's out of poverty, or you're just groomed. See, I was groomed. We never broke. I always had money all life.
Right.
And we just groomed, So you can't, it's really hard. I always say, if you're not a girl, I can't feel a guy. If you're not a guy, you can't feel a girl.
Well,
no matter how much we talk about it, I can never understand your feelings or your sexually or mentally. Cause I ain't you.
Right.
You know what I mean? I could be like him. He got a favor. I got a favor too. We can compare it. But at least we're both the same. Right. I don't know. I don't know how you people do. I don't know. You're like aliens, I don't know. We're like aliens. We're two different people. So I really don't know that. And it's almost the same way. If you're not in this, and it's not explainable, because you can't explain how you can be you being yourself, or and say, I told you to go take a life, or I told you to go hurt somebody, or I told you to be a drug dealer, go away for life. You go, that guy told me that? I'm going to go shoot somebody because somebody shoot me? You're going to say, that guy crazy?
Yeah, I'd be like, I can't hear you. Prank caller.
You have to grow into this. You have to be, you have to understand. It's a whole package. It's a whole package, man. It's just not just, I go do something stupid. Now it is. Some people have a ton of money. Parents got money. They drive Mercedes-Benz. I want to be a gangster, and they deal drugs or let money out because they make more money and they do it. But you don't have to be there. You got Mercedes already.
Yeah.
We had 2 Twiggers and a Yodel. That's what we drove on.
What's the saying?
I mean,
Everybody's a gangster until you got to do gangster things.
Times,
Right?
yeah, or you have to do time,
Yeah.
you know. But don't forget, in our day, you do things. There was no cameras. There was nobody be calling you. You know, there was a lot of stuff. You didn't do 50 years on one stupid thing. They changed all the rules on you, so it was a lot easier. You can eat the bird. Say, hey, Frankie, but you're gonna do 3 years on this. Okay, you're a tough guy. You can stand 2, 3.
Go away to college.
Now they want to give you 50 years on the same 2, 3 year thing. No, we're in trouble over here. You know what I mean? You know, so it's rough.
So what do you think about now?
Well, now it's pretty much. Now it's.
Is it like a done deal?
Well, no, you got guys earning. You're always gonna have crime.
Yeah.
You're always gonna have underworld, no matter what you are. Italian, Russian, Chinese, Puerto Rican, Mexican. 13, whatever the hell it is, it's always going to have crime because it's there.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's opportunity. People need help.
People need
are
money.
weak.
Yeah.
You do things. It's always going to never go away.
But what are they into now? Like, what is there to do?
Oh, yeah, a lot of things now. Yeah. Legit business is big. If you took bad money, you make a good money.
Right.
There's people, drugs are always never going to go away because there's always be, someone like her that needs that, that thing filled. Right? What do you call it, that thing?
Which thing?
The little white thing you suck on. What is it called?
What do I suck on?
Yeah.
A vape.
Vape.
But
I went
it's a weed pen.
somewhere else with that story.
No, you can
a
always
weed
need somebody
pen.
that wants some,
I was like, now I know what's in that thing.
It's not Coke. It's not. No.
Yeah.
The
Not at all.
vape, so it's always a market.
Yes.
And how you get on it, now there's 4 companies, 100 companies that do it, but there's going to be one company like us, they're going to infiltrate it.
Right.
They're going to buy into this. They make it for Fugazi. They make that vape. It's real popular. We'll find somebody to make it.
Right.
You always have the opportunity. It's never going to go away. What the difference is that the flashiness is gone. We're not open clubs with us sitting there wearing 10 pinky rings and
Yeah.
hey, you know who I am? We can't do that no more.
Yeah, right. You
But
say,
that you didn't have to do it that way. But I emphasize that because they knew you were. You didn't have to do that.
Right.
But now it's more underground. Cameras. You can't see who you're with. It's a whole different world.
Yeah,
security
everything's
like that.
online now.
But if they've taken good money and taken bad money and put it into good money.
Right.
And then if you're an idiot, you still indulge. If an idiot, a lot of them are idiots.
Yeah.
Especially the dirty 40-year-olds, 50-year-olds, even 50-year-olds, they're still idiots. They think they get that position because I don't know if they earned it or because somebody has to be there.
Right.
All of us are dead,
Right.
or step back. So somebody's got to do this shit. So and you get yourself in trouble with cell phones, and I watch everything. And you get yourself in trouble with a lot of stuff that we know we not supposed to do for the last 30 years, and you're getting pinched on it. You're an asshole. You're a tough guy. You're a mafioso, but you're an idiot.
Right.
I mean, honestly, so it changed, man. People, they haven't got smarter. You got to go underground.
They have to really go under.
Yeah,
because
it's not flashy. You can't be flashy.
Yeah.
See, we go get dressed like a T.
Yeah.
Stand out there, flip a quarter. It's cool.
Yeah.
People knew you, and you won't get in trouble for it. You can't do that no more.
Exactly.
So it's all you lose all. You want to do bad things, you can't even show it. You got to sit there.
Yeah.
Oh, let's wear old man clothes so nobody
go to
finds
Old
us.
Navy.
Yeah, let's find old man clothes. No one find us. What the fuck we do this for? No glamour, no prestige.
Right.
Well, some money. Money. You're gonna make money working as a sanitation guy. You make more than us.
They do make money.
Without going to jail, without breaking. Come on, 3 hours. I should have been a sanitation guy.
No.
But then you wouldn't be here.
I could have been the Mafia sanitation.
Yeah, the mafia. Well,
I'll tell you one more
You're talking about a dime a dozen.
Before I leave, I'll tell you one more story. One night, I'm dropping off Emily on Butler Street, and I got a white Cadillac. We're young, fucking young. I'm talking really young. And I'm driving up block, and there's a Butler Street between Smith and Court, and a garbage truck is there. And I got a call at Emily's house. No phones now yet. They called Emily's house and said, tell Frankie boy to get back to Pleasure Street right away. I said, okay. So Emily comes, I let him in the house. Emily comes right out. Mommy, my mother said that you got to call for Moira. You got to go back to Pleasure Street right away. I said, okay, no problem. Right? It wasn't that late. So anyway, there's a garbage truck in front of me. And they're not moving. I got to go.
right.
Right? So I opened the window up. I have a white Cadillac. I go, excuse me. I said, can you move a little bit over?
So you get through.
So I get through. Looked at me. He goes, you got to wait, man. I said, okay. I sat there. very little tension, but I waited right there. I had a 25 on me. He came out of the thing with the next thing, and I took 2 shots at him. Bang, bang, right? He jumps in the in the canister, right? And I go through him, and I rip my mirror off and everything, and I'm saying, F you and your mother, I don't care now, and I'm going to shoot you in the thing. But I broke those fails. I was showing another couple of shots. That was bad. I was going to shoot him in the canister because I didn't care. So, you know, and I took off. I get to Pleasant Street, and Rory tells me I got to go to the 76th precinct. I said, why? He goes, Tony Bonato and Louis the Syrian got arrested. You got to go see what they need. I was the only young guy around. So I go to the 76th precinct with this car. What's in front of 76th precinct? The garbage truck. The garbage truck. And I'm walking up because the bullpens where they kept it was upstairs.
Okay.
I'm walking upstairs, and I hear they go, this guy in a white Cadillac 2 shots at me. I had to jump in the thing. He goes, it's a white Cadillac. I didn't get on the plate. 2, 3, 4. And I got 2 cups. I got 2 cups. I got 2 cups of coffee in my hand. I'm going up the stairs. Oh. And so I get in there, and Tony Bonato and Louis the Syrian, which is our consigliere, so somebody, Frankie boy. I said, Louis. I said, he goes, oh man. He goes, where are they? I said, downstairs. He goes, get out of here. So I go down the stairs, I go out, and I jump in the car, and I got the 2 mirrors. So I got the white Cadillac, and both sides of the mirrors I ripped out. And they're hanging. I go outside. As I go outside, the guy's walking out, and I got the car parked like 6 doors down. I get in the car, and he's walking outside, and there's a cop coming in. That's the guy! That's the car! I yell up the window, you! And I drive away. Then you get the plate and stuff like that. The next day, they couldn't prove none. It's all hearsay like that. The detective squad comes down to Pleasant Street. They watch over us. A guy named damn, what's his name right now? Really good guy, detective, really good guy. Bartel. His last name is Bartel. He comes down and he goes, Frankie boy. I go, what?
What?
He goes, man, I like you. He goes, I love your father. He goes, but man, he goes, what happened last night? I said, nothing happened. What are you talking about?
Right.
I was here the while. He goes, Frankie boy, there's a thing. I go down the block. Your car's got 2 men hanging over. There's a sanitation there screaming that the guy's shooting at him, and I jumped in the thing. He goes, Frankie, we can't do that. He goes, I said, I didn't do that. Charlie Bartel, great detective, never did nothing wrong, but he's really passionate, a really good guy. Charles Bartel. And he goes to me, you can't do that, man. He goes, you're going to get yourself in trouble.
Yeah.
I said, I didn't do it, Charles. He goes, look. I said, Charlie, no. He goes, look at your car. I said, they vandalized the car on our block. He goes, you bad, man. But we do crazy stuff like that. One time, it was 1974. I'm doing a route because we owned a newspaper business. I got a gun on me. It was during the war. People were shooting each other, and I had to go out to do this route because we had nothing to do. We had to eat. You got to eat. Right. So I took a gun instead of having it on me. I put it in my members only jacket.
Members only.
I put it on the passenger seat, and I got out. I served 50 screw magazine. I had to give it to somebody, get the money. I come in the car, and I look in the car. I go to the van. We had vans, and I see Charlie Bartel. Hey, Charles. He's leaning on my jacket. And he knows. I know he feels the gun there.
Yeah.
He could have screwed me to death. I was dead man. Right? He goes, Frankie, what are you doing? I says, I'm delivering newspapers to the Porno School magazine. He goes, you got 10 minutes to get back to the block. He goes, I want you back on the block. I said, I got to deliver the paper. I want you back in the block in 10 minutes. And he gets off my jacket. I know he's leaning on the gun. He goes, I'm telling you, go back on the block. I get back on the block. I run and I say, Roy. I said, Roy. Charlie Bartel's leaning on my gun in the car. He goes, what do you say? He said, get the back. He goes, get back on the block. Don't worry about it. No, we got excited.
Yeah,
it was like, okay. I said, we do a year on that thing. Don't worry about it. Charles is good. I said, Charles, you with us? He goes, no. He's just a good guy. didn't play those games.
He wasn't going to break balls for nothing.
He didn't need the protection. He knew what we were doing. I wasn't really doing no. He knew I had to protect myself because we were in the middle of people shooting at you. You had to protect yourself. I mean, not that it's right or morally right, but he wasn't an ass. And he was just a good guy. But he arrested you when you had to be arrested and stuff like do what he had to do, but he wasn't an ass. But there were little stories like that. We did tons of stuff like that. I can stay all night and tell you stories. Louis the Syrian, Bobby Borriello was wound up being with John Gotti, right? Winds up being with us for years. Leaves, goes to jail, goes with John Gotti.
Okay.
So we're good friends with him. And I see Bobby. How you doing, Bobby? I said, oh, okay. How you doing, Frankie boy? I said, okay. And he goes, we got to score tomorrow. I said, what do you got? You need help? He goes, yeah. Yeah. We robbed the bank on Hamilton Avenue and Van Bunt Street.
Okay.
They got a guy that was a next door in the brownstone. Mm-hmm. They make a hole in the brownstone, and we go into the bank. I didn't go myself into it. They go into the bank, and how they get whatever they got? They get change. Buckets and buckets and buckets of quarters.
They're running with buckets?
I don't know why. So we go over there. They call me and Gumbadil up. Okay. So me and Gumbadil, because there's no cell phones at the time. Before that, they said, come meet us over there. So we're standing outside, and these guys coming out with buckets and buckets. I couldn't handle it. That's why I got a hernia today. That's why I got a hernia. Because they come up buckets of change. Must have about 50, 60 buckets of change. But they got other stuff. So me and Gumbadil were filling the car up. We had a club about 4 blocks away, a candy store Gumbadil had, and we were putting it down the basement, coming back, big hole in a building, bank, chemical bank.
Oh, wow.
Now, I don't know what they got out of it. They got some money out of it, some jewelry. We don't know. Nobody tells you everything.
Yeah.
So anyway, 40 buckets of change. I can't tell you how much money that is. It's a lot of money.
Right.
So Bobby tells
better
us.
Than meters, I tell you that
we
one.
have bad meters. Bobby tells us, he goes, Gumbadil. He goes, what? He goes, where's Frankie boy? He says, Frankie boy's with Roy. He goes, okay. So he goes, I got $500 for you. He goes, okay. That's a lot of money for that. So gives me 500. Gumbadil 500, comes with 500, and Gumbadil runs and gives me $500. So we come 500. I said, what's this for? He said, Bobby sent you 500. I said, oh, well, it's good. We drove a car. We carried thing. I said, my gonioni's hurting me. I said, I really think I hurt myself then. Anyway, so he was hiding the change in Gumbadil's basement.
Okay, in the candy store.
50 buckets of quarters. See, after a while, Bobby needed something. He goes, give me one of those buckets, right? And this guy's a real malandrini. He's a tough guy, Bobby Borriello. But nice to us, but he goes, hey, Monks, get me the thing, man. And Gumbadil used to have to count them.
Oh, my God. You rolled them? Remember the old rollers? Right? The paper rollers? You guys were in there.
Ton of money. It took him like a week to give Bobby's money. Anyway, at the end, Bobby goes to jail and calls on a shooting. He shot somebody on Pleasant Street. Him and Preston shot this guy on Pleasant Street. But the guy didn't press charges. They only got 2-3 years out there. But we were there. And he does, Gumbadil, forget about the quarters. He goes, keep the quarters. So Gumbadil calls me. He goes, Frankie boy, we got like 10 buckets of quarters. I said, 10 buckets of quarters? What's in there? Would have been a ton of money. Ton of money. I mean, I couldn't lift them.
Yeah.
I mean, it was the biggest score we made for the year. And they left us like 10 buckets of quarters. Out of Chase Bank or Kimmel Bank. I don't know. They never got picked up for that one.
That's a good one.
Never got picked up for that.
How do you even go to the bank?
No, but because they don't want you. The bank never let you know because they didn't want to know. It never became public that they went next door, went through the thing, got into their.
They rather
vault.
just take the loss.
They just took the loss, so nobody got picked up on it.
So
but I know because I was the guys who did it. You know, so it was great. What?
Where do you go with the college?
Oh. We just Gumbadil just rolled. He was rolled a joint. He was smoking a joint and roll a big pot of it. And he would roll quarters. They had the thing. Then he went and bought for like 10 cents. He bought this thing that you put your finger in it and you hold the thing. I don't know.
I remember that.
He goes, Frankie boy. He goes,
you hold the 2 fingers and it folds in it.
He goes, Frankie boy. He goes, I'm rolling it faster. And I go, Gumbadil, get this money. We need this money.
But where do you go to another bank and cash it in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same thing.
But yeah, like
No, we went to like
Because-
Right, really
well, there wasn't many
solid
banks.
with
No, we
some
went to
change.
South Brooklyn Savings Bank right there. Listen, we got a count here. What do you got in there? $12. We got $100 in quarters. $100 in quarters in 1972 was a lot of money. What do you got all these quarters? Hey, we got a store. We got a candy store. Go down to the candy
oh,
store.
that's right.
And that's why we spent $100 is a lot of money. I mean, fuck, I'd be a pimp for $100. I could take you out 10 nights in a row for $100. 1972.
Yeah,
You kidding me?
$100. Imagine going to dinner with quarters.
Oh my God, you would think I was God in 1973. You would think I was God.
1973.
That's right, you would
Not
say-
so much
you would say-
now.
Oh, that's
So you would say, "Oh, that Frankie, he's pimp. Have $100 in quarters." It was like that. It was big. It was big. Yeah. Man, I could tell you forever. Forget about it. You don't have enough time in stories.
Well, we have a lot more episodes.
Midgets and cut in half and oh my God.
Midgets cut in half.
Yeah. One more.
I like.
I don't think we
my
have
They
it.
don't have to- I'll tell you the story. They can kick it off.
My favorite.
tell
My
you the story.
favorite is Frankie picking up the envelope.
Oh, envelope.
This is, I think,
Yeah,
separate
yeah.
series.
I tell the story about picking
That
up
could be a
envelope.
show.
But one time, Roy and
It's just
Armando the
always- it's
midget
always amazing
was upstate,
place.
coming down, and they hit somebody car in the back, and they were driving, hit somebody car. No one had licenses.
Yeah.
So the woman comes to the car. They put Armando the midget on the back. I don't make him come out of the car, lay in the back, and put a jacket on him. They always cut in half. The woman scream, run away. They jump in the car.
he was
They
just-
put Armando in the car. They thought there was a guy cut in half. And they jump in the car and they take off and they get away with it. But they were cigarettes. They were moving cigarettes from
cigarettes.
North Carolina. And Armando went them and they put Armando on the street with a jacket over him. You scream, look at it, cut him in the head. And the girls see nothing there was
Yeah.
a little behind them.
And she ran.
Ran. Forget about it. But then again,
Oh, you see those little feet sticking out.
1968, $6 for a bumper. But it was.
That's a script you should write.
But they got caught. But they were moving cigarettes. They did all that, not to get caught with the cigarettes. You know.
That whatever's a Dinklage would be great.
Oh fuck! I tell you, we got great script for Dinklage. If you
Yeah.
can adapt, through his eyes.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man.
He wanted to. He
I
said
know.
he wanted to do
I know
it.
that, but you got to get to
Why
him.
don't you just figure
I
out
don't know how to
who's
get
his
to him. I
agent?
got
The
Gangster.
midget?
Yeah.
I got the script on the midget.
We
I'm
just
the only one with the
listen,
script.
we just got to figure out
You
who's
gotta
the
get it
agent
to
and
him.
just call. That's it.
Yeah, get it to him. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming.
Thank
my
you.
Penny fam, Liza, Yana. Just want to thank everybody.
Thank
Hope you
you.
enjoyed the day with the special friends that came, and we hope to do this again real soon. Thank you.